Last time I spoke about all the ways we sabotage our efforts in regaining our voice when it matters most. Stressful past experiences, fear of confrontation, our stories, our strategies, all designed to protect us from what feels life threatening, even when we know logically that it isn't life threatening. The problem with depending on these strategies and protective mechanisms is that they have a cost to our sense of self worth and loss in self trust. We end up feeling invisible and powerless. In this final video in the series, I will explore how to get back your power and your visibility, your sense of self worth, and your voice. Hi, I'm Maryanne Nicholls. I'm a therapist and coach. This video is the fourth in a series on why we lose our voice when we're stressed. Regaining your voice is a gradual process. After all, it took a long time to develop your current protective strategies. It only makes sense that it will take a while to unravel them, replacing them with better and more empowering ones. The first thing to do is to learn to regulate your body. It begins with awareness. Our protective mechanisms operate inside us on an unconscious or subconscious level. Until we learn to become aware of how they feel inside us, we won't be able to change them. How they feel is visceral: a clenched jaw, a sore throat. At first, you may not notice until hours after, and that's okay. It's a process. Once you start to identify the feelings, those visceral sensations, you will become aware every time you freeze. Then it's a matter of altering the feeling and supporting yourself physically to move from freezing to relaxing. You can teach yourself to do this in the following way. First, slow your breathing. Fill your lungs so that you feel your abdomen expand for a count of 4, and then slowly release that air in a count of 5 or 6. Science shows that this kind of breathing engages your vagus nerve system, which regulates your stress response system. And then ground yourself. Close your eyes, and while breathing slowly, feel your energy move from your chest to your navel. What this does is ground you because it lowers your center of gravity. Your body becomes more grounded and balanced. And then pause. Pause before responding. Now that you're in a more grounded place, you will almost certainly have your voice back. It may take some time before this happens when you're triggered, but it will eventually do so. Now is the time to pause before saying anything so that you can be clear about what it is that you have a need to say. Once you're able to support the regulation of your body, you have developed the space inside to alter your goal. Your goal when you were protecting yourself may have been to win the argument or to say what you wanted to say perfectly, and those goals ended up keeping you silent. Now that you have a chance to speak your truth, say it with presence, simply and honestly. You can learn to do this slowly with small voicings at first. For example, when you don't yet know what to say or are afraid of saying something you don't mean, say instead, "Give me a moment," or "I disagree," or "I'm not comfortable with that." Once you develop this new habit, it becomes easier to add those words to your authentic voice. These methods will help you gradually replace fear with confidence, lack of self trust with trust, feeling powerless with feeling powerful. By trusting yourself above anybody else, it's possible to learn the difference between what is truly dangerous and what isn't. Most of us who fear confrontation learn to see it as a destructive act because that is how it was used around us. It's no wonder we fear it. But confrontation can be positive. Healthy confrontation helps us clarify our own boundaries and bottom lines. It helps us learn to speak imperfectly and make mistakes that we can learn from. In truth, finding your voice is a practice, an art, not a personality trait. In an earlier video in this series on what makes confrontation so scary, I mentioned that sometimes we carry unfinished business from past experiences that interfere with current ones. If you find you aren't able to clear that on your own, it may be time to seek professional help. Many of us have. Lastly, I want to emphasize that freezing says nothing about your value or your character. It's automatic and normal and can be changed. It takes courage to do that and perseverance. But as many wise people have noted from the past, courage is not the absence of fear. It's your ability to face fear and grow as a result. I hope this series on regaining your voice has been useful to you. If you're interested in hearing more, I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel so that you're notified of anything new that I add. Best wishes to you.